Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the simple past tense. I won $1,000,000. This is an example of using the simple past tense. So we use the simple past to talk about an action that started and finished at some time in the past. So there are three styles here. We have the statement form. You called Debbie. You have the question form. Did you call Debbie? And there's a negative one. You did not call Debbie. So here are some more examples of the simple past tense. I wanted a motorcycle when I was younger. I still want a motorcycle. I ate pizza last night. Oh, yum. I saw a concert yesterday. I didn't see Star Wars on Saturday. Last year, I traveled to London. Last year, I traveled to London and I rode on a big red bus. Last year, I didn't travel to Korea. Did you have dinner last night? She washed her new car. He didn't wash the big red bus. We can use the simple past to list completed actions in the past. Instead of just saying one thing that we did, we can actually list them in our sentence. Here's an example. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. We did three things. These are all past tense verbs. Let's see another one. He arrived from the airport at 8, checked into the hotel at 9, and met his friend at 10. Did you add flour, pour in the milk, and then add the eggs? Perfect, right? It's easy to talk about more than one thing or put more than one action in a sentence. She chopped the onions, fried the meat, and cooked the tomatoes. The simple past can also be used to show how long something happened in the past. Now, she said, I worked all day. Of course, that doesn't mean she worked 24 hours in a row. It just means she worked during the day, 9 to 5, something like that. The boy says, I watched TV for 3 hours. And we're talking about the length of time that he watched it. Okay, so here are a few more examples. I lived in Brazil for 2 years. Shauna studied Chinese for 5 years. They sat at the coffee shop all day. We talked on the phone for 40 minutes. She wore a silly hat all day. I taught a class for 3 hours today. That's the length of time. I teach a class every day. So this one is the simple past. I taught a class. I teach a class. In this case, simple present. He's saying that he teaches a class every day, but this one is in the simple past, and we've added some information like how long during the day he taught his class, 3 hours. I studied French when I was a child. Maybe you studied English when you were in middle school. You can take these things and change them and make them about yourself. Oh, I studied Spanish when I was in high school. No problem. The simple past can also be used to describe a habit which stopped in the past. So a habit, something that you did regularly, but now you don't do it anymore. Here's an example. I lived in Chicago. The idea is that in the past, I lived in Chicago, but I don't live there now. He played the piano. Again, he doesn't play now. It was his habit in the past. Did you play a musical instrument when you were young? You're asking the person if they had that habit or that routine of playing a musical instrument. She worked at McDonald's after school. She doesn't work there now. He didn't like olives when he was a child. Well, I'm not sure about now, actually. All he's saying is that when he was a child, he didn't like them, but I have the feeling that maybe he kind of likes them now. I was that way. When I was a child, I hated olives, but now that I'm older, I kind of like them. All right, see how well you can do with these. Stop the video for a moment. Try to answer these questions, and then we'll come back and talk about them. Okay, here we go. Number 1. I tried to change a light bulb in the kitchen. I tried to change a light bulb in the kitchen. I have the feeling if he tried, he didn't do it, so maybe, I don't know, it was too high for him and he couldn't quite do it. Otherwise, you could just say, I changed a light bulb in the kitchen, which means he was successful. I found a wallet on the street. It had $50 in it. Ooh. Johnny Depp acted in the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. Shakespeare wrote many plays. They're famous. He drank a gallon of water after the race. I have the feeling that's not really true. A gallon is 4 liters of water, and I think if you tried to drink 4 liters of water all at once, it would make you sick. John helped me change the oil in my car. Past tense of help, helped. So notice we're all using past tense verbs here. Try, tried, find, found, act, acted, write, wrote, drink, drank, help, helped. He went to Hawaii last week. Oh, so lucky. I saw penguins at the zoo yesterday. They were so cute. I see, I saw. She listened to the music on the radio. Past tense, listen, listened. He played the piano yesterday. He bought a new car last week. So buy, bought. Good. How'd you do? All right, let's go on to the next one. Again, pause your video, take a few minutes to work on this, and come back and we'll talk about the answers. All right, let's try it. The old woman baked some cookies for her family yesterday. By the way, bake is when you put something in the oven, like a cake or a pie. You could bake meat. Anything that goes in the oven and cooks in the oven probably is bake. Bake, baked. I baked some bread. My childhood, past tense, was happy. I hope your childhood was happy. We really, past tense, enjoyed the game last Sunday. She rode her bike yesterday. So by the way, things like a bike, a bicycle, a motorcycle, a horse are things that we ride. So rode is the past tense of ride, and riding kind of means you're sitting on top of something. So imagine a horse or a bicycle. I went to the restaurant with my parents. I had a really good weekend. Maybe it's Monday morning and your coworker said, "Hey, how was your weekend?" I had a really good weekend. Make sure you smile when you say that. I learned a lot about science. Okay, so if you went to a class and they taught you about, astronomy or something, and you could come out and you could say, "Wow, I learned a lot about whatever it was." The puppies were fun to play with. Now, if you say the puppies are fun to play with, that means in general, simple present. But if you say the puppies were fun to play with, then it means in the past. So, for example, if you go to your friend's house and he has puppies and you play with them, then you go home. Later, you could say to your wife, "The puppies were fun to play with." If the puppies are in your house, then you might want to say, "The puppies are fun to play with." All right, let's try the next ones. Again, stop the video for a moment and answer the questions, and we'll come back. All right, welcome back. Number 1. I did my math homework yesterday. When I was a child, my father would say, "Jerry, did you do your math homework?" And I would say, "Yes, I did my math homework an hour ago." How about number 2? Did Susan go to England by plane? Yes, she did. No, she didn't, right? They visited a farm 2 weeks ago. They went to the farm, maybe just to see it and to look around. Jenny and Peggy did not help their brother. Why not? Jenny and Peggy did not help their brother. The children were not at home last weekend. You could say, I was not at home last weekend. The children were not at home last weekend. You designed this wonderful house. So if you're an architect, you might design a house or a building. You design buildings, that's your job, but you designed, past tense, this wonderful house. My mother did not crash into the van because my mother is a good driver. The boys took off their shirts in the hot weather. So took off, I take off, I took off, past tense. Did you call your aunt last week? Play with these sentences. Make some other questions. Did you call your mother last week? Okay. Did you call your friend last month? Okay. Did you call your girlfriend last night? It's all fun. Play with the words and practice. He did not drink milk at school. He did not drink, and of course you can say, he didn't drink milk at school. All right, one more. Stop the video. Okay. Yesterday I fried an egg for breakfast. So eggs, usually we put them in a fry pan And past tense of to fry is fried. So you fry certain things in a fry pan. Last week, I kicked, past tense, a goal in the game. Good job. My friend jumped over the wall. Wow. The day before yesterday, I played with my toys. Okay, I don't know what kind of toys they were, but the day before yesterday, so today is Sunday, the day before yesterday would be Friday, and I played with my toys. Last night it rained. So rained, snowed, also okay. On Sunday, my mother, past tense, cooked spaghetti. Good job. I have a feeling you're getting it. Great. Last month, I watched a movie. Again, you can change these things. Yesterday, I watched a movie. Yesterday, I watched a good movie. Yesterday, I watched Star Wars, whichever it is. I painted a pretty picture. That's nice. Yesterday, my teacher asked me a question. And the last one, yesterday, my dog licked my face. Yeah, dogs sometimes do that, don't they? Okay, still more. I told you there were going to be plenty of practice things to do. So stop for a minute, give it a try. You have to supply the word this time. Okay, past tense of go is, you're right, it's went. She went to Tahiti last year. I really want to go to Tahiti. That would be so nice. My father repaired my bicycle yesterday. Maybe it was broken. My mother my mother bought these jeans last week. Fred and Wilma played Monopoly at Nani's house yesterday. So, play, played. My friend gave me a present 2 days ago. What a nice friend. Mr. Rohani explained the materials in the meeting. He told us about them. He gave us an explanation. Sarah told me a story about a cruel king. All right, maybe like a fairy tale. The students had a graduation ceremony yesterday. My father was very busy yesterday. And my aunt visited my family last night. How did you do on these? Okay, last exercise to do. Here's a little story. This might take you a few minutes to work it out. Probably you know the story of the 3 bears. Well, this is my version of it, all in the past tense. It's a great way to use the past tense. Telling people about something that happened to you, like what you did last weekend, where you went, who you saw. All of this is a past tense kind of thing. It's great for stories. So pause the video, and then we'll come back and talk about it in a few minutes. Okay. Well, here's the story. You can tell it to your kids if you want. Once upon a time, there were 3 bears. A papa bear, a mama bear, and a tiny little baby bear. They lived in a beautiful forest home. One day, Mama Bear cooked delicious chili for her family and put it into bowls. They wanted to give the chili some time to cool down, so the 3 bears went for a walk. Near the forest, there lived a little girl named Esmeralda. Esmeralda was a nice girl, but sometimes she was naughty. That means she did things that maybe she shouldn't do. Well, Esmeralda walked to the house of the three bears. She knocked on the door. She looked through the windows, but nobody seemed to be home. So little Esmeralda stepped inside. Esmeralda smelled the chili. She was very hungry and ate all 3 bowls of chili. In the living room, there were 3 chairs. Esmeralda sat down in the little chair, but as soon as she sat on it, it broke. Esmeralda went into the bedroom. There she saw a cute little baby bear bed. Esmeralda suddenly felt very tired. She tried the baby bed and soon fell asleep. After a while, the 3 bears returned home. They went into the kitchen. They wanted to eat their chili. That's spelled wrong, sorry. But the bowls were empty. "What the heck?" said the Papa Bear, who was very hungry and a little angry. The bears walked through the house until they came to the bedroom. There they saw little Esmeralda sleeping in Baby Bear's bed. The Papa Bear woke her up. The Mama Bear called Esmeralda's mom on her cell phone. Her mom bought a new chair for Baby Bear. Then she punished Esmeralda and made her apologize. What a nice story. The end. Try to make some sentences during the rest of your day. Think about things you did yesterday or last weekend, or things that you did on your birthday. Make sentences about all of that. Try to use the past tense with some of your friends. Make a conversation. It'll be fun. I'll see you in the next lesson.